Hello, my YouTube people. Sorry, I was listening to a video. I thought I could do that and talk. I don't think I can. As far as you not being able to see my face because of the light, I have tried every which motherfucking way to fix that problem. I have adjusted, I have turned lights off, I've done it all, and it's not fucking working. So, please bear with me, even though you can barely see me. I know it's been a very, very, very long time since I've made a video. Sorry, you know how it is. Started the video, must have a cigarette. But here I am. And the reason that I really didn't make videos last year is pretty simple. 2019 was the absolute worst year of my life. And that's saying something. I mean, it was in competition with 2009 and 1999. And, yeah, the ninth year of a decade, the 8th and 9th years of a decade are pretty predictably fucked up for me, like, my entire life. Also, I move every 9th year of every decade. 89, 99, 2009, and as you can tell by the fact that this is not the living room that I made videos in for 4 years, I moved in 2019 as well. But we'll get to that. Yeah, so let's start. Well, for one, the reason that I did not make videos through my trying time was because there is enough fucking negativity in this world without me adding to it. And last year, if I would have been on here making videos, I have no doubt I would have added to that negativity. I had a pretty bad fucking attitude about last year. Every day I was pretty pissed off. Like, I didn't mean to be, I didn't want to be, but I was pissed. I was doing that thing we sometimes do where we throw up our hands and we look in the direction of where we think our goddess might be and we go, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Which, if your matron is Athena, may not be your best bet. But I did it. And I did it repeatedly. It's just like, my fucking God, what do you want from me? But, yeah, so let's start with the highlight. There was one highlight. My baby sister, the one I raised, gave birth to a beautiful, healthy baby girl on April 25th, the opening of Avengers Day, as my husband called it. He was there with me for the birth of the baby. Then as soon as we got home, he's like, "Can I please go to the midnight showing of the Avengers movie?" It was ridiculous. But anyhow, she was born on April 25th, which is the day before my great-grandma, or the day after my great-grandma's birthday, the day before her bastard husband's birthday, and 3 days before her grandpa's birthday. So, yeah, another little Taurus in the family. And she is beautiful and wonderful, and I adore her, and she is by far the best thing that came out of 2019, fucking hands down. She's something else, and I am so happy to be an auntie again. It is the fucking best. Anyone who says being a mom is better than being an auntie, it's definitely not funner. I'll put it to you like that. It is not more fun at all. Like, you be an auntie and you can let them little fuckers get away with whatever, because you don't have to worry about how they turn out. Like my oldest niece, who she's already 10. Damn, man. She used to eat nothing but Doritos for Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter. She come to me, "Aunt Kiki, I want Doritos." "Well, here you go, baby. Here's the whole bag on a paper plate just for you." Like, I didn't have to worry about her eating right. She ain't my kid. It's great being an auntie. You can always say yes. Never have to worry about saying no. So, I love that, and I love her, and everything's great with that. That was the only good thing that happened in 2019. Hang on, let me get a drink of my coffee. those of you who do not read tarot or know about the tarot, there is a card in the tarot deck. If you ever have your cards read and this card comes up in your future, beware. Your entire motherfucking life is about to just flip upside down. Everything you know, everything you love is subject to being destroyed. That's the bad news. The good news is, generally speaking, if you can find the silver lining, if you can write it out, if you can get through that horrible time, and it will be fucking horrible, at the end of it, when you rebuild, what you rebuild will be far better than what was torn apart. That card is called the Tower. Last year was the Tower. It was the year that can only be described as the Tower. Literally everything. Not just people, not just places. My Pinnacle that I've had since, since Yule of 2001 broke to the point where there was no saving it, and I had to bury the damn thing. Because I remembered some, witch wife's tale about burying your Pinnacle when it no longer serves you or whatever. So I buried it. I gave it a proper burial. Because it served me well for almost 20 motherfucking years, and I still feel naked without it. Every morning, and this is a true story, when I wake up, first thing I do is feel for my Pinnacle, and it's not there. As you can see, I haven't even replaced it yet because I've been broke as hell. No Pinnacle here. Now I got my Pinnacle ring. You probably can't even fucking see that for that light. But it's not the same. But yeah. Anyway, my Pinnacle, I had this, I used it as a chalice, but what it actually was like a brandy glass or a wine glass from this bar that I used to go to when I was like 15. I've had it since I was 15 years old. It survived my motherfucking sister. And not much I own survived my sister, but what I did own that survived my sister has not survived my child. And I found, because River went through a phase between like summer and fall of last year where she just kept going in my craft room, fucking tearing into everything every spell I tried to do, every planting things that I wanted to grow. With each moon phase, she tore that shit all up. Because she was doing spells. Now keep in mind, I do not do magic in front of that child. I don't do magic in front of fucking anybody. Like, my husband has never seen me cast a circle or anything. But I think it might have been all that magic and ritual I did when I was pregnant for her. I don't know. But anyway, she's obsessed with witches and casting spells. But she's actually kind of like really good at it for someone who has no idea what the fuck she's doing. One of these days, if she fucks with my shit again, I'll record her, show y'all what I mean. But anyway, she broke it. She broke my fucking chalice I had since 2002. Like, when we moved, Tony left a whole bunch of my shit behind, including this big box I had that had every single thing my baby sister ever made me throughout her whole life. Pictures, cards, whatever. Every card I ever received from all my dead relatives was in there. Like, this thing that Dakota made in kindergarten that, like, showed her throughout the year and had field trips she went on and all that shit. He left it all. He left it all. My $300 record player, everything. Like, all kinds of my shit got left behind. But I'll get to the move in a minute. But the point of the matter is, I am one for holding on to things. And I hold on to things like shit normal people would throw away. I keep for 20 years. Because in my mind, I'm going to do something with it. Like, if you get me a Bodycology fucking perfume set and it's got a ribbon on it, I'm going to save that ribbon. Because one day I might need it for a spell. Believe it or not, that's actually happened. That's a true story. So don't judge me. If something breaks, I'm going to keep it. Because eventually I'm going to get apparently another glue gun. And I'm going to glue that bitch back together. Doesn't matter that I keep it broken for 5 years, because one day I'm gonna put that bitch back together again. It's just how I am. I assume it comes from abject poverty. I don't know, but it's how I am. And people and places are no exception to that, okay? I hang on to toxic relationships long past when I should not. I hang on to horrible places to live long past when I should move. It's just how I am. And last year was about telling me, no, sometimes you gotta let go. Whether you want to or not, whether you like it or not, the universe will make you change if you will not take the fucking hints and change for yourself. And boy, did it. After my niece was born, as spring went into summer, and then summer dragged on, got hotter and hotter, me and Grandma both got sicker and sicker. And of course, I was going to Grandma's house every single day. I had my first seizure in like 3 years, and it was a horrible one. And I had a concussion for a week because of it. And it was a bad concussion. Like, I was all fucked up. And then my MS symptoms toward the end of summer, as the weather, it got cool, like the end of August, like abnormally cool. Thank you, global warming. And when it went from cool back to hot again, the muscles in my back fucked up to where I couldn't even walk. It literally felt like I was in back labor every single day for over a month. It was bad. I couldn't ride in Grandma's truck for more than 5 minutes. Like, it was horrible. And it didn't quit until I got me some CBD oil just to try it out, because I had heard great things about it for Crohn's and MS and all that. And it worked immediately, which I was not expecting, because I always heard you had to take it for a while and let it get in your system and all that before it worked. No. Like 2 hours after I took it, I could walk. It was amazing. Now I get it, like when I can afford it, and when my arms and legs and shit start getting real bad, which they will, because the past few years in February, it'll get abnormally warm for the time and the season and all that. It did it when River was born. Like, the night I went into labor for her, it was like 60 degrees. It was crazy. And so, you know, I'll be needing it, which I went from the oil to smoking it, because the rolled ones that you smoke are way cheaper than the oil, or at least they are around here in Ohio. But yeah, anybody out there who's going through problems with an autoimmune disease, y'all know I advocate for kratom. But CBD is also a fucking miracle worker, or at least it was for me. Everybody's different. But, you know, Grandma ended up in the hospital in August, and she was completely out of her head, which she's been doing on and off since the day me and Tony got married. And, when she got a little better, like a week later, she, of course, signed herself out, like she always did. And she came home with oxygen and shit. And for like a month, she did really good. We smoked outside. Unfortunately, she kept me outside on that hot-ass porch every single day, which anybody who has MS, that wasn't great. But I didn't want her out there, you know, sitting by herself all lonely and shit, so I went out there too, even though it killed me. And, you know, we were not doing good. And of course, she was sicker than me. She's older. She's got more health problems, all that shit. But we were both, like, rapidly declining. Then fall came. And then October came. And then my landlord started playing fucking games with us. Which we had already had problems, because we basically told him, you need to fix that. After the polar fucking vortex last year, when it was literally 51 degrees inside my house with the heat on 90 and all 6 of our fucking heaters on high, well, medium, because we couldn't turn them on high because all of our electricity was on one goddamn breaker, and if you turned them all on high, the breaker would shut down, and then you'd be really fucked. But anyway, with all that going, it was 51 degrees. And after that, because, global warming, that's not the only time we're going to have temperatures well below what they should be in the wintertime. And we're like, you need to do something about this fucking furnace that's from the early 1960s. It's not working. Well, that did not sit well with him. And he had joined a property management group because when we first rented from him, it was just him. So then he starts talking. Now keep in mind, y'all know what my house looked like. We lived in the fucking hood. On top of the fact that the ceiling's falling in on you, the walls are caving in on you, like, no heat, fucking no air conditioning, whole 9 yards. This motherfucker starts talking, well, I can get $1,100 out of your place right now. Bitch, no you can't. And, so we just thought he was talking shit. As fall comes, we're like, you're running out of time. You need to do something about this goddamn furnace. And finally, like, it became apparent he was not going to do anything about it. So I'm like, fine. I called him up. I'm like, we're just going to look for a new place to live. He's like, well, go ahead. Don't pay me rent for the month of November. Just go ahead and put that money towards your new place. And I'm like, it's nicer than he's acted in a year and a half. So, okay, cool. I thought he was being his old nice self. Come to find out, he was setting up a cause to file an eviction on us for non-payment of rent. And, knowing that we were trying to get out, well, we found a place by the court date anyway, so he had to drop it. But, yeah, that's the dirty shit landlords are pulling in the hood because of gentrification. And they've gentrified the fuck out of our neighborhood. Like, first of all, a few streets over, all the meth heads in that whole area, they pushed them all to the park by our house that was right up the road where we took River. And basically, like, the cops and the rich people pushed them all there so that they didn't have to deal with them because they're busy, gentrifying it so fucking rich people can live there. And this is going on everywhere. Like, it's going to get... The housing crisis is not just fueled by the fact that people don't have money to live. It is also fueled by gentrification. Because fucking rich people are coming in, and I literally watched this happen, studying up on houses that I was trying to rent. They're coming in, buying these big old houses for $15,000, $20,000, and then doing absolutely nothing to them, and putting them up for fucking rent for $1,100, $1,200, $1,300 a month for a 2-3 bedroom in the fucking hood. So there is this one like community thing in our old neighborhood, and they're trying to buy up houses and keep them affordable for poor people. And there was this house that I had a feeling, like, I wrote the woman and everything. I had a feeling we would get this house if I pursued it. But, like, for one thing, I was up all night, every night, couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. I was a fucking absolute wreck over all of this. Because, like, finding out that we had an eviction notice over our head. It was one thing when we were just looking for a place and we'll move. It's something totally different when you literally have a legal eviction hanging over your head and you have a 3-year-old and winter's coming and you have no money. But, so I was a nervous fucking wreck, which of course sent my body into absolute overdrive. My Crohn's got worse, the MS got worse, every fucking thing got worse, because that's how that works. And I was a wreck. But I was up when I was home, because I still went to grandma's every single day. Trying to find a place to live, trying to pack, doing all that. But the only time that horrible feeling of all that weight being on me lifted was when I talked to my sister about moving to where she lives in Ohio, in a town called Chalice. And that was the only time I felt better about it all. And then I got to, like, at first I was like, no, I am not, because Chillicothe is like a little further south than Circleville, the town I grew up in, and it's full of ignorant ass people, like racism, homophobia, transphobia. This is Trump country, baby, and that's no bullshit.